Good morning, everyone. This is Danilo Bogdanovic, licensed realtor in Northern Virginia. Today is Thursday, January the 19th, 2023, and I wanted to give you a quick recap of 22 because most of you are asking, and also almost all of you are wondering what's going on with the market right now and what could we possibly expect in the near term. So let me start with 22, tale of two halves. First half, as I'm sure you all remember, was crazy. Multiple offers, above asking price, selling above, up to 15% of our asking price, no contingencies. Then comes June, and that's when it came to a grinding halt. Second half of the year was very different. Buyer demand much lower, number of listings coming down, total transactions down, and the interest rates hit 7.5% and hovered around 7% for a long time. To give you an idea, in December, in the beginning of January, the overall volume, meaning number of homes sold in America, was down over 35%. And that was the tale basically of the entire second half. So you had a record number of realtors selling a record low number of homes. So it made for quite an interesting, both for consumers as well as within the industry, as for us agents and brokerage firms. Now, what is going on in 2023? Well, prices appear to somewhat stabilize at the beginning of this year, and then something happened that I never thought I would be saying today, which is in the last week and a half, almost 2 weeks, I have seen more multiple offers than I have in the second 6 months of 22 combined. Let me repeat that. More multiple offers in the last week and a half or so than the previous 6 months, July through December. Buyers are out and inventory is even lower. So right now, inventory is the lowest it's been since actually the record of 21. It's above that, but it's 40% less than pre-pandemic and 60% less than the typical average number of homes for sale in America. So inventory is way down, but interest rates are now below 6%. So the mortgage companies have lowered their rates to below 6%. That's a 1 to 1.5% difference from the average and typical and the high of the second half of 2022. And we're also kind of entering the beginning of the spring market, which is when buyers typically come out and start looking for homes. So it's kind of a trifecta, but I never thought it would lead to this. But, we got to get back to basics. Interest rates, supply, demand. It's very simple. Now, is this an anomaly? Will this continue for the next 2 weeks, 2 months? Nobody knows. It depends on interest rates, depends on inventory. Sellers, many are not selling. I have multiple clients that thought about selling and they said, and we talked and we started to crunch the numbers. I said, talk to your financial planner, talk to your accountant, look at the numbers yourself and see if it makes sense, because they may have, interest rates of 3.25%, 3. One had an interest rate of 2.75. So, for example, if she moved, she was going to have to pay 6 or 6.5% for something smaller. And when you look at the mortgage payments, they came out not too much different. And we're talking about a potentially depreciating value market. So she decided to stay put. She's not the rare case. There are many sellers who are looking at their current rate, what they could get, and the general, housing market and economy, and saying, I'm gonna stay put. The pain that I'm experiencing in this home, which is why I want to move, isn't great enough to overcome all of this. That will also lead to lower inventory than normal, which will further be bullish for the housing market. So it's very interesting right now. There's all these opposing forces working against each other, with each other, however you want to look at it. So it's going to be a very interesting next 5.5 months, which is the typical spring market. Nobody knows for sure. I can't tell you for sure. I hope and think that we're going to be flat versus depreciating because of the supply. I think housing is definitely, I don't think, it is at the lowest affordability levels in recorded history. It's that expensive to own a home right now, which is not good and usually puts downward pressure on values. But then again, the basics, supply, demand, interest rates are also there too. So, like I said, opposing forces, we'll see what happens. I wanted to give you guys this update. If you have specific questions about your home, your community, please reach out. I can tell you right now, just from working with different clients, a townhome in one area is that market could be and is obvious a lot of times completely different than, let's say, a condo a mile down the road. Is very different than a luxury single family 2 miles down the road. Each hyper-local market has its own conditions, its own comps, its own buyer pool, etc. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Happy to answer questions, provide you with information, market value, whatever you'd like. Have a wonderful day. Hope you stay dry. It is a little wet out there, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Take care.